Hey guys, it's another time for a collection video, and I've picked a computer that is very underrated. It was my first real computer. I had no games or no storage devices for it, but it was a system that I messed around with for hours upon end. I pretty much pissed my parents off all the time because I would hog the TV with this computer system, and that is the Texas Instrument TI994a. It's a really cool system, a lot of good games, has really good graphics, good sound. Not a lot more I can say about it. I don't have a lot of games for it, but I do have a device I'm going to show you that allows me to play pretty much any game that's come out disc-based or has the cartridges that have been converted. I can play them. So first let's show you an attachment. This is the speech module with the TI-99. This allows it to have speech in some of the games that are supported. Next, I will show you a little device that allows me to use my Atari joysticks, because I really hate the Texas Instrument branded joysticks. They suck. It's called a Wiko command control. And what this allows you to do is you plug this into the joystick, and then you can plug in Atari-based controllers into that system. And the two, I wouldn't say games, but two cartridges that I do have for the system, they're kind of required for a lot of the assembly-based games or extended basic, and that tells you what they are. I've got a TI extended basic cartridge and a editor assembler cartridge. And finally, I'm going to show you the device I was talking about, the storage device. It is a Nano PEB or Nano 7 device. What this is, it has a 2 gigabyte compact flash card in it, and I can pretty much store any game that's ever been made for the Texas Instrument computer on this device. It also has 30K extra memory as well, so there's some games that require more memory than the TI has, so it allows me to play those games as well. Next, I'm going to show you some of my favorite games and some of the more popular games for the Texas Instrument computer. First, I thought I'd show you how I load games using my compact flash drive. First, you go into TI Basic, and I actually have to mount the image from the compact flash drive. And the 1 is the drive, virtual drive 1, and 3 equals the actual image on the compact flash drive. Next, I actually have to reboot the system. Go back in and you go into the editor assembly cartridge, and you choose option 5, which is to run the program, disk 1 of course, and the name of the program. And there you go. There's all the games that are inside that one image. Next, I'm going to show you Donkey Kong. This is actually a pretty cool version of Donkey Kong. Graphics and sound are really nice. The only problem is on the rivet stage, there are no rivets, so you're just basically wandering around on the stage with no hazards. And I don't think that there is a pie factory / cement factory in this version. I couldn't get high enough a score to actually get up to see if there was one, but I don't actually think there was one. But it still is actually a pretty cool version of the game. And next is Buck Rogers. One of my favorite games for the TI-99 is Buck Rogers. This is actually a pretty good game. One thing is the gates in this game are actually really close together, so you always have a chance of crashing into them like that. But it's still not a bad version. For some reason, the TI-99 has always reminded me of a Coleco, the ColecoVision and the MSX computer. And I think it's because they use the processor or the graphics processor, I think. Next is Dig Dug. I gotta say, Dig Dug is probably one of my all-time favorite arcade games, and this version is actually pretty good. The actual sprites in this game are unfortunately, I think, only single color, but it still doesn't look too bad, and the sound in the game, I think, is actually really good. Also, the sound effects of the dragons, I think, are pretty cool too. Next is another one of my all-time favorites, that is Moon Patrol. Another really faithful port to the TI-99. I think this is one of the better versions of the game. The colors and graphics are really nice, as well as the sound effects. Next is everyone's favorite, Miss Pac-Man. This is a really good port of Miss Pac-Man to the TI-99. The only thing about it is it might run just a tiny bit slow, but other than that, it's just an absolutely cool game. Next is TI Invaders, a Space Invaders clone. I've heard throughout various forums that this might actually be the best Space Invaders version on any console / computer. It is actually pretty cool. It's actually a really good and faithful port of Space Invaders. And finally, my favorite game on the TI-99, Neverlander. Neverlander was released in 2008. It is an actual homebrew for the TI-99. And I gotta say, I absolutely love this game. It's actually 5 levels. Once you get to the 5th level, which is the hardest, it repeats over again. And I think I've scored over 100,000 in this game for my high score. It's kind of a lunar lander / conquest of Mars homebrew, which came out for the Atari 2600. You don't actually fire. All you gotta do is just dodge the asteroids and pick up the fuel cells to keep your fuel limit up. Well guys, that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Come back next Friday for another one of my collection videos. Thanks.